Hello. Hi, my name is David. I'm with DDD Projects, and today we're taking a look at the Flashforge Creator 5 Pro Hotend. Looks like we've got a little bit of a filament jam. So let's work through this together and see how we can possibly get this undone. For starters, I was using TPU, flexible material, and it looks like it just grabbed too much and fed it in there. So to make this process a little bit easier, I went ahead and pulled this off the printer. First, I removed the little C-clip from underneath here. Oops. And then pulled the tube out. I cut that a little bit shorter, so left some there. And then there's two screws on the USB, the black USB connector that goes to the unit. So pulled those off, and now we've got it out. So looking at this, in the directions, we have 5 screws. These 2 will help us remove the hot end, and these 3 will take off the case. So let's start with the hot end. This will be my first time taking one of these apart. It should be interesting. So far, I've had the Creator 5 for a weekend, so not too long. One of those first to order it, and got an email a couple days ago, and it magically showed up that Friday evening, which is pretty exciting because it gave me the whole weekend to mess around with it. So far, it's done pretty good. The only problem I've noticed is with some of the software. One of the versions of the Flash Studio software wasn't quite working. So we got those out. I'm not going to take the hot end out quite yet. The less I'd have to take apart, the better. So let's take these 3 screws out as well here. Now it's being feisty. There we go. Just a little bugger. Just note on Allen keys, sometimes, maybe you can get better on this one, they have a rounded end and just simply square end. That's by design. When you first take a screw out, you always want to use the flat, perfectly smooth side. That way it will be less likely to strip the screw. And then once you get it out a bit, you can use the other end. The other end is for tighter spaces or maybe a bad angle you can't quite get. Those do look to be the same size. It's always a good thing when we're being consistent. And there, we've got 3 screws out and the 2 that hold the hot end. Let's see what happens here. Might be one more. Let's try this one. This one might be a tensioner of sorts. Just went against my rule, didn't I? All right. See how much easier that comes off if you use the flat one first, and then the rounded once you get that out. Feels like it's almost all the way out. Somebody might ask why I didn't just cut that little piece off. Because it's TPU, it's not really cutting the filament very well there. Let's see, it wants to wiggle. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and take that out. On the bright side, it does look like it went ahead and cut it. Maybe that's why. Won't go any further. Can we see in there? A lot of gears, but don't quite see where it's stuck. Let's keep trying a little bit here. Always scares me when doing this for the first time. I'm pretty sure that's gotta come out. Might just be really long. Or really obstinate. You never know. Come on. Hanging right there on the edge. Nope, I don't think so. Probably be super long. Just taunting me. This wants to spin. Not coming out, not going in. There it comes. Well, come on. Can't get an angle on it. It keeps falling back in. It's pretty loose. And it's not enough to get needle nose on. Well, that's a bit frustrating. All right, let's try something else. 1 second. I'll grab some more tools. Just in case you're wondering, this is the original toolkit it came with. Sometimes a brand new tool will make a big difference versus one I've been using for a while. So let's grab this right here. Does that look familiar? Probably so. Came with your kit, right? How about that one? Let's try that one. See if I can get a better grip on it. It just does not want to come out. It's going to be obstinate. All right. Let's see. Let me try one more thing. 1 second. All right. Sometimes you gotta cheat. And that's what I ended up using. Had a magnet. Suck that thing right out there. So that's that there and that over there. And we'll try and get this off one more time. Ooh, that came off a lot easier. There we go. Careful, there's a wire in there. Don't want to tug on that too much. And it is gummed up right in here. And if I apply pressure on the cutter, just not letting go. I'm going to say that probably needs to come off. That should loosen this piece. Gotta be careful of the spring. Hopefully we don't break anything else. So let's give that a try. We're going to try this screw. Get it tight. Not too bad. And it feels like it's screwing into plastic. That wouldn't be a very good design. There we go. And we'll carefully lift up. Nope. I'll lose that pin. that screw. Or spring. Oh, screw. Alright, can we back it out now? Yeah. Feed it back that way. And that releases it there. And there are some gears right in there where it looks like it's stuck. Fed back in here somewhere. Let's see if we can use this and manually push the gears gently. No, that's pretty hard. That piece there, those pieces together. What do you think? Stuck up in that gear. You gotta watch that little pin there. It's gonna jump out at us. There's a screw there. There's one on that micro circuit. Which one do you think we should try? Looks like there's one back there too. I'd say that one. Let's try that one for now. See what happens. Might not hold anything but the whole backside together. That one, pretty close to the same size. Oh, let's go ahead and take the cutter out. There's your cutter. Looks uniform. We'll put that there so we'll hopefully remember. Might give us any room to work. No. See if we can force the gear to move at all. Almost looks like that should pull straight up and out. Alright, I know this is driving you guys crazy. Let's take the circuit board off real quick so we don't end up breaking something else. Dig in my little toolbox here. Oh, I really hate GST connectors. I'm so good at breaking them. Let's see if we can be careful here. Not break it. And if you got an easier way to get these off, just let me know. So I am not the greatest at it. Oh! There we go. All right. Anything better? Anything better? Those two would take the circuit board off. Now can we get to the motor? Looks enclosed almost all the way. I wonder if we have to take the backside off. 1, 2, 3 to get to the motor. 1, 2. Is there something in that? Let's not go probing there. All right, I think I'm going to take this one out. This one out. Maybe the metal back plate will come off. Woo, I hope I can figure out where all these screws go back. Alright, that and that. Doesn't feel any loose. Two, three. Don't see anything down in there. Well, I don't want to take that one off. It's probably the one I need to take off. All right, we'll take it off and see what happens. Maybe it puts that piece on. That screw kind of went with that one. Nope, that didn't want to come loose either. Maybe it does. There we go. Gentle, gentle, gentle. There, now we can see what happened. Looks like it came down through here, stuck up under there instead of going out the filament hole. I could just get the gear to move a little bit. Afraid it's gonna snap. There we go. Yeah, really ate that up, didn't it? All right, now the fun part. Let's see if we get this thing back together. Did say that one came from there. And we also think that one came from there. Boop. It's always fun to count how many times you drop your tools when you're putting these things together and taking them apart, isn't it? There we go. All right. And let's put these little ones back. Here. And one more on this side. I think it was there, hopefully. All right, then we had our cutter. There's a little U shape there, so you got to make sure it goes over that little silver piece in there so it slides in nice and easy. Like that. Our spring. And our tensioner. Is that here? Actually, we got to feed through there first, don't we? Guess that just sat on there. Didn't really. So let's go ahead and put that back on because I think we can. Leave it a tad bit loose. There's a slit in the back here, so let's do this. Let's pull that out. Put that into the little tricky. Did you see that? Slide it in, flip it over. And we're stay there. And put our spring. I don't see a pin that that spring sits on per se, so I think it's just pressure against there. That slides in. Yeah, all right. Probably best to put it all together and then feed that in anyway. Making a mess of it. Try it again. in. And see if we can get that right up to where it should be. And almost need another hand somewhere. Maybe it's going in. Maybe not. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Just gotta line that hole up perfectly. There you go. It's that odd, you got 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one. So it's that fourth hole you're aiming for. Line that up. You might have to push it this way a little bit. There we go. Now let's see how that works. Double check on the bottom. Looks like it's trying to take. And there we go. Woo! This is fun. All right, almost there. Yep. Guess we got a magnet right there. Hard to fit up there. All right, now put our little JST connector back in. Hopefully do it the right way. If you notice, there's like a white space and then the pin's in a tiny white space. And sometimes figure out which way it goes. Also, it's kind of shaped a little odd. So I believe goes. There's also 2 pins on the top here. Hard to see from way up there where you're at, but it should, with a little luck, just slide. Man, gotta be good with these tiny things. So all you that are worried about your kids working on a printer, well, sometimes I don't think that's a problem because they got tiny little fingers and tiny little hands. And they would slide that little booger right on there and make you mad. There we go, got it all. Gently put it all back together. Take a quick look at our parts, make sure we don't have any extra parts. It's not a Volkswagen, that's for sure. These were all the same, so lucky there. Let's try and put that one back together. Little trick, if you're trying to get your screws to stick and they just won't, you can take a magnet, put it on there, and run it up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it should magnetize your tool. Makes life a little easier. Might have been easier to get that out. So now I'll screw that one back in. And we'll get our last 3 in. Then we'll put our nozzle back in. Come back here. Don't go in really strong. I'm gonna have to tighten up a tad bit. got a screw in there. Don't put another screw in there. Ah. That one tightened up a little nicely. That one still, there we go. It's snug it up now. That one feels pretty good. Now let's look at the hot end. Going to assume we can leave that little piece there. What do you think? What do you think? Go for it. Let's go for it. All right. Make sure you put it in the right direction. The easy way to remember is those white wires. There's a little slit right there. Should pop in. And then we'll put our 2 screws in. And let's snug it up pretty easy there. And we'll do the other one. Make sure they're flush and go all the way in. Don't want something sticking out when it tries to grab it. It snugs up pretty well. And now we'll snug this one up pretty well. And there we go. Hot end has been cleared. Put it back in the printer. With luck, it should be fine. Hope that helps you out. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you later. Bye.